Hello interwebs and welcome to Let's Fix Computers. I'm actually fixing a Minecraft server today, which is a little bit unusual, I know, but I came to fix our Feed the Beast server and found there are no guides on fixing individual broken chunks on a Minecraft server, like manually, without using tools like World Edit and stuff. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. Just so we can understand what chunks are and what broken chunks look like, I'm just going to show you a few examples. Now this is not a broken server, this is server lag. Now the way you can tell the difference is that you can see through the floor, and I can pass over the areas that haven't loaded with no ill effects at all. So that's just caused by either my computer running slowly, the server running slowly, or the internet connection between them. So this is not a problem. Usually logging out and logging back in will fix this, or just simply waiting for it to load. Now this is what a broken chunk looks like. As you can see, it's a 16 by 16 block all the way down to bedrock and all the way up to the sky. As you can see, it's literally sliced the trees in half. This is how Minecraft stores data, in chunks like this. And then what we have is a 32 by 32 block of chunks creates a region. So if I try and walk into the broken chunk, it just sort of pushes me out. With a little bit of work or server lag, you can fall into these, so don't tempt fate, but you can walk around it fairly safely. Now if we look at the server, as you can see, it's severing all over the place. The biggest report will be, as we can see, we've got a bat here that's trying to go into the broken chunk. It's showing me the positions it's at, and if I scroll up here, that shows the actual chunk locations as well. So if the server's that bad, you might not see that because it's just gone off the server log. But either way, we need the chunk position or an entity position that's near the broken chunks, so we know where the broken chunk is. But before we go any further than that, I'm just going to show you the server files and how to back up your world. This is super important. You should be backing up anyway. I mean, if you have good backups, you shouldn't need to do this, but I didn't at the time. So I'm going to go into the server, and here we've got our world folder. That contains everything. So we're just going to make copies of this, and that serves as a backup. We can just rename these folders to backup or restore backups. So I'll make a fresh copy of that now before I do anything else. And that's now saved and backed up. So let's have a quick look in the world folder at what we've got in here. We've got various mod folders, so we've got Mistcraft there, we've got the Ender storage stuff, we've got the players, that's all the player inventories and things like that. And then we've got the region files. Now this is the actual Minecraft world. Now each one of these, as I mentioned, each file is a 32 by 32 block of chunks. You can delete a region file and it will just regenerate the entire region, but that's a big space. Now one of those region files has got my house in it, so I don't want to reset that. So what we're going to do, we need to find out which region we need to modify first. To do that, I'm going to use a couple of utilities to find out the actual position. Okay, so we know from the server logs the position of our broken chunk. So I'm just going to zero this out. I'll put the link to this page in the description. I'll put in -6 and 12, and that tells me that at -1 and 0, that's the region file that's got the broken chunk in it. So that's where we're going to go. We can also check -5 and 10, and we see that one's also in the same region, so we've only got one file that we need to fix here, which is nice. If you don't know the chunk information, if you only know the coordinates from like that dead bat or something, we can type that in as well. So we add -80, which I'm going to round up to -81. If you've got a decimal point, just round it up. And then the Y position doesn't matter, and then the Z position, just tap that in as well. As you can see, it's given us exactly the same information that we had before, so you can check from that as well. So what we're going to do now, we're going to open up the region file with a Hex Editor. I use a free one called HexEdit, link in the description. Now this looks a little bit scary at first, but there is method in this. What we need to do is we need to calculate what position the region header is at that we need to reset. So I'm going to use Wolfram Alpha for this. There's a equation here that I was given by a man who knows what he's talking about, and we dial in the chunk position, the -6 and the 12 there, and that tells us 1640 is where the chunk starts. So I'm going to type into the top there 1640, and that's put the cursor down to the start of that chunk. Now we write zeros across that header, so 4 sets of zeros, and then save that. And now let's work out the other one. So we're back in there. We're going to change that to -5 and 10 for the other broken chunk. and then that calculates to 1388. So again, 1388 into the top, and there's the start of that other chunk. So again, zero that out, like so, and then save your changes. And that's it. Those two chunks have now been completely reset. It will delete everything that's in them, and they will be regenerated the next time the server starts. So we'll start up that server and see what it looks like. Right, so here's our broken chunks. Notice how we can see through the floor again now, and bang, that's regenerated. Walk over to the other one. Little bit of server lag, go away skeleton. And pop, that's now regenerated as well. And that's it, those are now fixed. So the good news about this is, as you can see, it hasn't randomly generated the land there, it's actually blended it in with its surroundings, so you won't be able to see where those chunks were. So that's it. I know it wasn't a computer, but it's still something I fixed. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you all next time fixing a computer instead of a Minecraft. Thank you.